Hello, I'm Ross Collette. This is my YouTube channel. Please like and share and subscribe. All day long I've been trying to find a book. I have several thousand books here in my library on my top floor of the Roseville Theater, which is now Deeper Life Ministries in Roseville, Michigan. But I have been looking for one book, and the name of it, it's always something. If it's not one thing, it's another. It was written by a comedian back years ago, and funniest thing, but it's true, isn't it? Everybody I've said that to, they say, well, yeah, that's true. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Many of us right now are facing that kind of situation. When one thing gets finished, you take care of that, then another one crops up. They're like weeds in a garden. I don't know if you've ever worked on a garden, but my mother and grandmother made me do that. I had to get out and pull weeds. It wasn't that I pulled weeds, one day. I had to go pull weeds every day because they sprung up from nowhere. You don't have to plant weeds. They just keep growing. And many of us right now in our life, we turn around, even though we just covered all of this, we turn around and here is the same problem again, or another one. What's worse is most of them are the same problem, just in different places. And we have to learn to cope with that. The Word of God tells us very specifically that there is a natural mind and a spiritual mind. You and I can, unfortunately, we're in both worlds. Somebody told me once, well, I am in the spiritual world. Well, I am too, but I'm also in the natural world. I'm actually a citizen of two worlds. I have to cope with everything that everybody else does in this natural life, but I'm also a spiritual man. God made me a spirit. If you walk in the Spirit, God will lead you by the Spirit. It's His promise. He will do that for us because we believe in Him and we have been. But not only do we have to pay our bills, we have to worry about our children's education. We have to worry about the light bill, the rent, the car. Is it running this morning? And the temperature and the weather. All of these things that natural men have to worry about. But in addition to that, we walk in the Spirit. We are also spiritual creatures. In Joel Goldsmith's book, The Thunder of Silence, he describes how you and I are citizens of two different worlds. We are, aren't we? We're in the spiritual world. And some of us think that, well, when you go to church, you get in the Spirit. But the Word of God tells us, Paul instructed us, Romans the 8th chapter, walk in the Spirit. How is that possible, to walk in? Well, some people see themselves, walking around, like picking fruit out of the sky, the fruits of the Spirit. We used to have a guy come to church and he'd be going like this everywhere, looking, staring up into space. And I asked him, I said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm picking the fruits of the Spirit. Well, it doesn't work that way, but it was an entertaining moment. You and I, as God's children, are citizens of two worlds. We have to cope in this natural world, but we also have the blessing of a spiritual life, a close walk and concentration with God. And when you think you got it all straightened out, if it ain't one thing, it's another. God bless you. Please like and share and subscribe. And get some folks, would you, tell them about the ministry. Go to rosscollette.com or deeperlifeministries.com or Faith for Miracles. God bless you now.